Hello and welcome to Blake McKinnon Productions. My name is Blake McKinnon and I almost cancelled my game this week. This was almost going to be the last devlog on the creation of my game Dead County because I almost cancelled it earlier this week. The reason for this is that I ran into a big issue that I somehow managed to overlook during the early stages of the game's development. The issue was that when you progressed from one area to another, you lost everything in your inventory. This was a massive game-breaking problem because inventory management is a big part of Dead County, like it was in the original Resident Evil games. So you might be thinking, why would you cancel the game because of this? Couldn't you just fix it? Well, the reason that I almost cancelled the game was because of how I set up the inventory. It wasn't designed to save data that carried over to multiple scenes, but I had already put over a month of work into the game, and cancelling it would have meant that a month's worth of work would have gone down the drain, so I was determined to get it to work any way I could. It took me a morning of failing, making a little bit of progress, failing some more, and then getting something else to work, which eventually resulted in it functioning in a way that I was happy with. It's not perfect and still needs a bit of tweaking, but it's now working good enough. The reason that I ran into this issue was that it was the first inventory that I've ever programmed, and it wasn't set up in a way that was flexible. If I decide to add an inventory into another game, I'll do my research a bit better beforehand so I don't run into issues like this again. But hey, it's all working now, which is the main thing I guess. So that's what half a day of the last 2 weeks was spent on, so what were you doing the rest of the time, you might ask? Well, I've been very busy building all the maps for the game, and they're all just about finished. Each map took me roughly a day to make, which is still pretty quick, at least compared to Bloodbreed, which was taking me anywhere from 3 days to a week per map. Dead County is going to be a relatively short game. I'm not sure how long it would take to complete, but I think it will be a bit longer than my previously released games. I've still got a few cutscenes to make and then I'll go over each map again to try and polish them up, but I think that it's already some of the best level design that I've done so far. I think that a big reason for this is that almost every map was planned out in advance, which meant that I knew which direction I was going in. I never really got lost or had to take long breaks to think about what I was going to add in next, which has resulted in more consistent designs. After I have all the maps complete, I'll move on to polishing and bug fixing. I've already got a pretty big list of bugs I know I need to fix, so soon I'll have to start making my way through those. Bug fixing is probably the least enjoyable part of making a game, and can take much longer than expected. But for once I'm actually looking forward to it, as I'm pretty burnt out on level design, because it's pretty much all I've done for the last few weeks, and also because there's a bug at the moment that makes it pretty much impossible to complete the game in its current state, but it should be pretty easy to fix. The other noticeable addition is that I've pixelated the cameras in an effort to get it to look more like a PlayStation 1 game. I've used a different approach in this one than what I've used in my older games like Dungeon of Exile, and I think that it's resulted in a better and more authentic look. I've also decided not to include VHS filters in this game because I don't think the aesthetic fits this game very well. However, they will be included in my upcoming game Bloodbreed. In the last devlog I said that this game wasn't really going to have a story, and somehow it now has more story than any of my other games. Just don't go expecting some super deep narrative though. It's mostly just about a guy trying to get home during a zombie outbreak, which isn't a very original concept in this genre. Well then that pretty much gets you caught up on everything Dead County related from the last 2 weeks. I don't have a solid release date for the game yet, but it should be sometime during the next 1 to 3 weeks, which means I've got a lot of work to do between now and then. If you'd like to stay more updated on the game's development than just watching these videos, you can follow me on Twitter at BlakeMProds or on Instagram at BlakeMProductions, where I post more frequent updates on the game's progress. Remember to like this video and comment down below to tell me what you thought of it, or to ask me any questions about the game. As always, my name is Blake McKinnon, thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.
Ah!